Okay, so in this video, I just want to talk about my experience with everything going on with Charlie Kirk and my experience at the memorial event in Glendale, Arizona. Me and my dad just flew back last night, got back into Austin. I didn't sleep for 42 hours. It was all crazy, but God is good, so I'm super grateful for the experience. But I kind of just want to talk about just my thoughts about all this stuff, and but yeah, I guess I'll get into it. So September 10th, when that news broke out, I was in class at Texas State University. I'm doing this internship class, so we're kind of just in a gym all day, just working with athletes of all different sports. And sometimes between workout sessions, we'll get like an hour break or something. So we had our break. No one else was in there. It was just me. I was just kind of just sitting down. I had just worked out. Um, and I got a notification on my phone from Truth Social, and it said Charlie Kirk shot at Turning Point USA speaking event. And I was just like, I don't even know what to think. Like I was just glued to my phone for the next 5 hours. And a little bit later, my dad called me and we were talking, but I posted a bunch of stuff. And during all of that, before Trump announced it, my dad was like, yeah, they're confirmed, like he's dead. And I'm like, no, I haven't seen anything. Like, stop. Like, I haven't seen anything. And then Trump put out that Truth Social message that said he was dead. And I hung up the phone and said, Dad, I need to call you back. Like, I'll just call you back. The second I hung up the phone, I threw my phone just across the room. We had a little office thing. And it was weird. I threw it hard, like my iPhone. And I threw it. It bounced off the floor, off the chair, and there was a table right next to me. It landed right on the table. And looking back on that, I don't know if that was God being like, you can't just break your phone, dude. Like you need to speak out and post some stuff. But yeah, it hit me like a brick wall, because Charlie was the guy that got me into politics. Not because like he was like so cool with Trump or whatever, just like it's because his faith was his number one thing. And that's what I admired most about him, whether it was election stuff, college campus stuff. He would go and speak at churches sometimes, and just even stuff like that, just like speaking to the youth or just anybody. It was never about politics first. It was about what can you bring your faith into? What spaces of human existence, whether it's politics, your workplace, school, anywhere, just where could you talk about your faith the most? What impact could you have in those places, no matter what it is, with your faith? And I think that's what's so beautiful about what he stood for and what he did, because that's exactly what he did. And he thrived even just in the political realm. But when they first announced the event in Glendale, I sent a screenshot to my dad. I was like, we should go to this. My grandpa, he lives in Phoenix. So I was like, we should visit him too. We haven't seen him in like 10 years. So told my dad that. He's like, yeah, let's do it. So we left on Saturday and we got there Saturday night, or like midday Saturday. And we scoped out the area, just like the State Farm Arena, and we were just kind of checking it out, just like seeing like how parking was going to work, whatever, walking up. But yeah, so we checked that out, and then we were driving back to our hotel in Phoenix, and I was like, dude, like, let's go back. Like, I want to like interview some people. And my dad was like, what? I was like, yeah, let's just like, I don't know, just follow me with the camera. Like, I'll just talk to people, ask people questions in general, just like what they think. And I like interviewed some people, just even like with this mic. Like, I've never done this before, but like, I was like, dude, like, let's do it. So we were just talking to people at the event. There's videos posted about that stuff. I'm going to keep posting about that. But it was crazy, because I mean, you have a president of the United States there and his whole cabinet, and they were just like locking that area down. So talked to a bunch of people. I actually met a lady that like talked to Charlie multiple times at his events and stuff. So that was really cool. Just families from all over, like Minnesota, Mexico, freaking just everywhere. So it was crazy. But we left there, and my dad was like, yo, how far is the Turning Point USA headquarters from here? And I was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot that was like even here. Like, I was just kind of focused on the event. And I looked it up, and it said it was like 11 minutes from us, or like 15 minutes from us. So I was like, dude, like, let's just go check it out, because they had like the memorial and stuff there. So this is the part of the trip that kind of tripped me out, and not in a weird way, but just like a really, really, really spiritual way. It was already dark. So me and my dad went to the memorial stuff they had outside of the Turning Point headquarters, and it just hit me like a brick wall. Just the candles and the signs and the flowers and just everything. It was like, it was so, I honestly, like, I'm not even like trying to exaggerate it might be the heaviest experience I've ever experienced in my entire life. Like, it was extremely deep, extremely spiritual. So I won't even talk about like the negativity, like people have commented or just even friends that have like said about it. Like, it was so deep. So we were there for I don't know how long we were there, probably like 40 minutes, 45 minutes, and we left and we got In and Out. It was they had a Starbucks and an In and Out right next to each other, right next to the headquarters. So that was probably the Starbucks that Charlie went to all the time. But we got In and Out and then we went home. So it was probably like 1 a.m. when we got back to the hotel, and I didn't even sleep. So I was just editing videos through the night. But yeah, we got like 1 hour of sleep, maybe. He did. My dad did, at least. But yeah, I guess just to say one more thing about that experience, if I had to explain like what that was like, it was a deafening silence. And what I mean by that, it was because it was so like, it was so obvious and loud in heaviness of like how that impacted people and his impact on the world, but it was silent there. So it was like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if that's like a term people use, but it just, that's the first thing that popped in my head. I was like, dude, this is like a deafening silence. So we got there at like 3 a.m. to the event, and they had like gates up and everything. There was lines of thousands of people, just as far as you can see. So I posted kind of live updates on my Let Me React TikTok, and I had in the morning I had 0 followers, like maybe like 2, and I was just posting updates like, okay, like there's this many people here, like I was talking to people, like here's the line, this we're still staying strong through this, like we're just staying in line, like we're not moving. And I have like 2,000 followers now, so it's like crazy. Because people were just updating like, thanks for being out here, like, yo, I'm in the back. Dude, I'll show the clip. I had a dude recognize me. He was like, yo, this is you on TikTok. I was like, bro, ain't no way.
Wait, show that again. Let's go.
So it was all crazy. So fast forward to like 6 a.m. They're kind of letting people in. They open the gates. We get in. We have to wait for like another hour for the outer gates. And then we get in there probably at like, I don't know, like 7:30 or something, maybe 8 a.m. Or before that, I guess like 7:30. So we get in there, and there's people flowing in, and it was crazy. Like, I'm just talking to my dad there. I'm like, dude, this is crazy. Like, it's a football stadium, but all these people are here for Charlie. And Charlie, someone, I forgot who it was, but they shared like a text group chat, and he was like, this is my vision. And it was like a Turning Point USA event, but like in a football stadium. So everyone was like, dude, this is like, we're sitting in Charlie's vision. And some of the speakers were saying that. But yeah, the event started at 11 a.m. and they had so many awesome speakers. And it was crazy because I was expecting like obviously people that knew Charlie and stuff, and just like to talk about their experience with him and just like business or work or like how much they loved him and stuff. Everybody talked about Jesus, dude. Everybody. It was so crazy. Even JD Vance, he was saying like, in my entire public life, I've never talked about Jesus more than I have in the past 2 weeks because of Charlie. So it's so crazy because just seeing all those people be affected by that, and not just like normal people. These are people that run the country and are powerful in the world. So having that type of impact, you have to be special, and you have to have a special kind of impact. But yeah, I think one of the things I most wanted to talk about in this video was Erica's speech and how it kind of affected me and just like my mindset hearing that. So I posted a video days ago, and I titled it "My Message to Christians," or Christian. Yeah, I think just "My Message to Christians." And I was talking about how pastors around the country are going to be, it was the first Sunday after it happened. I was like, pastors around the country, they're not going to talk about this. It's going to be weak. And just like people praying for the shooter and just like all this stuff. And I was like, I said in it, I was like, pray for Charlie's family and like all these people going through this instead. And I was like, he deserves a death penalty. And I said, it's irredeemable. So I agree with everything I said in that video. Overall, But then I heard Erica's speech, and it was awesome. And she said, halfway through, whatever, she was talking about the verse when Jesus was on the cross, and she said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." And then she said, "That young man, I forgive him." And in that second, I thought to myself, I was like, I was wrong for saying he was irredeemable. I still think he deserves a death penalty. I still think justice in that way should be administered. I think that's biblical. David taking down Goliath, Jesus calling King David and so many other kings to just annihilate evil in the world. But I had anger in my heart for that, and I try not to hate people, but even if I didn't realize it, I had anger towards him. I totally did. And the second she said, "I forgive him," that anger went away. It was, if I had to explain that speech and just the event overall, it was the most powerful thing I've witnessed in my entire life in person. So yeah, I was wrong for saying he was irredeemable, because I think a lot of people are even confusing her speech, saying like, oh, she forgives him, she doesn't hate, she doesn't think he should get a penalty, or like she thinks it's fine what he, no, like forgiving someone doesn't make them any less evil. Forgiving them doesn't lessen even the penalties they should get. But she was saying because it's what Christ did for us, and it's what Charlie would have wanted. So I don't think he's irredeemable. No one is irredeemable, no matter what you do. So I thought it was really powerful seeing that just from a woman of faith like that. And yeah, I don't know. I think someone was saying like this was the start of healing for this country, and because if you're going to forgive someone 11 days after they assassinate your husband, that's not human works. That's not your own power doing that. It's impossible to do that on your own. That's all God. That is all Jesus. That's why she was saying, even in her speech, she was like, cities didn't loot. They didn't burn down. There was no revolution like that. What you saw was a revival. What you saw was people opening their Bibles that they haven't in 10 years, haven't gone to church ever in their life. So if you're going to see something like that, you know that's not people. That is God working through people. And yeah, I mean, it's just super surreal, because even the stuff going on with people talking against me and just like my church and stuff, and like I'll talk about that stuff later in a different thing. But I agree with everything I've said up until this point, with just people not speaking out about this, saying it's not spiritual, church is not speaking out about it. But I was wrong with that one thing I said. No one is irredeemable with the love and mercy of Jesus Christ. So I thought that was super awesome, and you learn. I've learned so much from this, and I think it's more than I would have learned if I just watched it on TV. Because I got to talk to people. I got to walk around and just see people's reactions, their faces, where they're from, what they believe in, just how Charlie impacted them. It was truly, it was an experience that I'll remember for the rest of my life. And even just being there with my dad and seeing my grandpa was awesome. So yeah, I'm eternally grateful for being able to be a part of that crowd of whatever it was, 90,000 people in there, and then 200,000 people total just in the area. Yeah, it was awesome. But yeah, I guess like I said, we flew in last night. I didn't sleep for 42 hours. It was crazy, but I'm super grateful for that. And I guess just going forward, and the main theme with all the speakers, including Erica, was truth and love. That's what Charlie preached. We have to fight for truth. We can't just be like, oh, Jesus loved everybody and Jesus said to turn the cheek. No, like he did, but you have to have truth with that. And the truth is we have to hold people accountable. We have to call out evil people in this world, whether it's in our churches, friend groups, schools, leaders of our country. We have to expose evil with truth and love. And that's the most important thing we can do in our lives. But yeah, just going forward with all of this, that September 10th day, I haven't been the same since it, and I don't think I ever will be for the rest of my life. And just speaking on myself, whether it's strongholds I've had or sin that I've dealt with, I guess one thing I didn't want to say on top of all of this, the impact it has, Charlie Kirk saved my life. And I don't mean that in an over dramatic way or a weird way, like, cause like he was my guy. But I guess to explain it in like football terms, like if you learn a skill from a coach, a player, like if I see Julian Edelman run a route or something, and like I work on my craft to perfect that, and if someone's like, hey, like where'd you learn that? I'm like, yeah, Julian Edelman, like I saw this thing, or like my coach taught me this thing. I learned honestly how to talk to people from Charlie Kirk, whether it was about faith, whether it was about politics, being able to be cool, calm, collected while people are screaming at your face, whether it's at a university event, whether it's at a Turning Point event, or just talking to people in private or just in front of people, even with a camera and stuff. I would not be able to do that if it wasn't for Charlie Kirk. And it's not because he was more righteous. It's not because like I liked him and what he did. It's because Jesus worked through him. And that was his main message, was the most important thing that we can do is bring people to Jesus Christ. So I wouldn't be able to do that if it wasn't for Charlie Kirk. So the impact that one person, I put this on my Instagram a couple of days ago. I'm in awe of the impact one person can have on the world, because it is all God. And I'll just say it again, because I really do believe this just in myself. I'll just speak for myself. Since that day on September 10th, I have not been the same since, and I don't think I ever will be for the rest of my life till the day I die. And for that, I am extremely grateful. I am grateful for the sacrifice that Charlie made for King and for country, because he loved this country, and above all, he loved God more than anybody. So yeah, I mean, that was my experience with everything, with even our Turning Point USA event at Texas State University. I won't talk about that. I posted so much about that, but that event in Glendale was one of the most surreal things I've ever experienced in my entire life. So I will forever be grateful for that. Seeing the President of the United States. I literally asked my dad while we were there before it started. I was like, have you ever been to an event like where the President of the United States is speaking? And he looked at me. He was like, no. So I was like, holy crap, this is crazy. But yeah, it was awesome. It was life changing. Honestly, it was life changing. And I was seeing clips just like of people posting it on the news and stuff, just like of the television point of view, and I was like, wait, we were there, what the heck, this is crazy. But yeah, I mean, the day after it happened, I joined my Turning Point organization on campus, and I just am gonna make videos, talk to people, whatever I can do to just be a part of that, and just spread the gospel as much as I can, because that is the most important thing that we can do. I think I covered everything experience wise, just going where I went and talking to who I talked to and how it affected me. But yeah, if I had to leave you guys with one thing, it's what Charlie said. And he was on a podcast, I think it was like 2 months before he died. And the guy said, if everything just went away, what would you want to be remembered for? And he said, I want to be remembered for my courage, for my faith. So that's what we all should do. That's what we all should do as Christians. Expose evil with truth and love. Show people respect. That's what Charlie did on the college campuses. When he spoke at churches, when he just talked to people in general, it was always with respect and truth and love. So that's what I got. I'm going to keep posting stuff, keep being bold with my faith. Am I going to mess up? 100%. Am I going to get discouraged? Maybe sometimes. But at the end of the day, Jesus is king. But the impact that one person can have can truly change the world. And I have been a witness to that, and I will talk about that day for the rest of my life. Because all in all, this has made me want to be, when I, God willingly, get there someday, it has made me want to be not just a better person and a better man, but a better father someday, a better grandfather, and just a better Christian in the world. So that's what Charlie meant to me, and that's what my faith means to me. And I'm going to do my best every day to keep that motivation, inspiration, and conviction, determination, discipline, whatever you want to call it, alive in my soul for the rest of my life. So thank you guys for watching this. If you did watch all of it, God is good all the time. So that's what I got. Thank you guys for watching, and keep exposing evil with truth and love, because we will make a difference one day at a time. And 3 things will last forever: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. Thank you guys.
If everything completely goes away, how do you want to be remembered?
I mean, if I die,
Everything just goes away. How would you, if you could be associated with one thing, how would you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith.
Well,